The Strymon Big Sky Infinite Sustain feature. Let's check it out. I recently posted an ambient guitar meditation that features the Strymon Big Sky's ability to freeze or hold reverbs as you're playing. And what I'd like to do on this video is just walk through how I got the sound for that particular piece. So first up, we've got one of my trusty old baritones here. This is a PRS SE 277. Obviously, this technique will work with a standard guitar too. All right, I've got it, as you can tell, it's a clean tone, and I've got a compressor on it for a little added sustain. All right, next up, as you have heard already, is a volume pedal. And I'm using my trusty, I have a lot of trusty things around here. I'm using my trusty Morley Little Alligator volume pedal. Next up is the Strymon Timeline Delay, and I'm actually just using an out-of-the-box preset called, let me get it right, Da-na-na. Da-na-na, depends on where you're from. But basically, it's the pattern delay, and here's what it sounds like. And obviously what I'm going to be doing is playing, maybe not obviously, what I will be doing is playing volume swells with that. And actually that sounds pretty great just by itself. But what we're going to do is add in some Strymon Hall reverb. I'd like to walk you through the settings, but first let's listen to the reverb. As you can hear, the decay time is very long. I believe I've got it set to 18.1 seconds, which is really awesome with the Hall reverb. You can set it really, really long. The pre-delay is at about 40%, and the mix knob is at about 55 or 60%. So a good amount of delay there. Modulation is at about 70%, and you can probably hear it if I play it here. Yeah, you can kind of hear that little warble going on. All right, so what about the other parameters? First off, the lows and the mids are about in the center. The actual size of the reverb is set to arena, so that's going to give you that bigger, fuller reverb sound. Next up is the persist option, which is available on any patch in the Big Sky, and this allows you to set tails on. So even if you turn the reverb off, like I just did, the reverb tail will just kind of die out naturally, so that's very nice. Finally, again, every patch on the Big Sky includes an option for hold. Now, what the hold is that's basically whatever button you use to pull up the patch. If you just put your foot on the button and hold it down, okay? That's the hold. And there are two options. There is freeze and infinite. Freeze will simply freeze the reverb in terms of whatever is going on, and it just kind of hangs out there. And then when you play over top of that, you're not adding additional reverb to the overall sound. Infinite, however, also freezes the reverb when you hit the button and hold it down, but it also allows you to continue to add layers of reverb on top of it. And that's what I'm using with this particular piece. So let me dial up the entire patch and play a little bit so you can hear what's going on. Yeah, that's pretty cool, isn't it? So here's how it works. Let me do this again. We'll slow it down a little bit. So I'm going to go ahead and turn the reverb on. And here is a volume swell with just the reverb and the delay, the timeline delay on. So a really long tail, and it's very lush sounding. All right, so now what I'm going to do is a volume swell, and then I'm just going to hold the button down so we get that infinite layer. Here we go. Yeah, that's really great. So as long as I hold that button down, and if I don't play anything else, that reverb decay will just keep on going pretty much unchanged. Now, let me do it again. I'll play one layer, hold the button down, and then I'll play another layer on top of it. And you'll be able to hear how it kind of builds additively. Here we go. Yeah, that's cool. So, if you're like me, you're already thinking, whoa, what can I do with this? And actually, there's quite a bit you can do with it between the volume pedal and the hold button. And that's what I did with the ambient guitar meditation. Let me show you what I mean. So watch my feet on the inset, wherever that is on this video, and you'll see how I vary the hold button and the volume pedal. Here we go. So it takes a little bit of coordination, but once you get used to the interaction between your left and right foot, however you have your pedal set up, you can easily control the layers that you're building into the reverb and not let it get out of hand. Unless, of course, you want it to get out of hand, and let's check that out. How many layers can we get going? Let's try it. The infinite sustain selection with that hold parameter. It's pretty cool with the Big Sky. There's a lot you can do with it. If you do have the Big Sky, I would encourage you to play around with it. If you don't have the Big Sky, it's definitely worth checking your reverb to see if there's a freeze or a hold function. I can think of two other reverbs that I have that have similar functions. One is the Boss DD500. The other is the Source Audio Ventris. And I'm sure there are other reverbs out there that can do the freeze or hold option. It's well worth learning how to use it with your particular reverb and figure out how to create really lush layers as you're playing an ambient soundscape. If you haven't already done so, please subscribe to Chords of Orion and hit the bell notification wherever it shows up so you don't miss a thing. Also, I've got links around here for Chords of Orion music. I'd love for you to take a listen. And as always, I'll see all of you on the next video.